Hello friend. Today we are making this super easy, elegant headband. This pattern is suitable for beginners. Let's take a look at what we need. For this project I used a 2mm macrame cord. You can see how thin that is. For this one I'm doing today, I'm going to use this mint colored 2mm macrame cord. A pair of scissors. I'm using a G6 4mm hook. This project, you have to measure what best fits your head or for whomever you're making it for. Mine measured out to 19 inches. Each of the ties measured about 11 inches. If you want to go by circles made, mine was 20 circles. So you're going to go anywhere between 18 to 22 circles depending on how it fits on your head. As a general rule of thumb, the ends right here, the last two circles, should sit behind the ears. To begin, we're going to chain 2. We're going to put 8 single crochet in this first chain. This is my last stitch. And here we have our first circle, just like this one. Now, take a look at how this is constructed. Each of these circles is going to have to sit on top of the other. I'll show you how we do that. We're going to slip stitch. All right, this can get a little tricky, but we're going to slip stitch. That means put your hook through the first single crochet, pull up a loop, and then pull it through your loop on the hook. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to use this second chain from the hook, and we're going to start with 4 single crochets. Okay, I have my 4. Now you see where I've gotten to that beginning chain. I'm going to want to move this behind me because I want to work on this side of that chain now. And let's make 4 more single crochet. Okay, so I have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single crochet. Since I did my 4 on this side and my 4 on this side, we're sitting nicely up on top of this circle. So here's our bottom of the circle and here's our top of the circle. You're going to want to slip stitch again. Okay, and see where I am? I'm right at the top. And now we're starting our little overlapped circles. You want to chain 3. This is going to be our repeat. So we're going to make this circle all the way to the end is exactly the same. So however many circles you're making, if it's 18, if it's 20, 22, you just keep making this same circle until you get to the end. Let's do 4 single crochet on this side of the chain stitch, the second from the hook. So now we've gotten to our first chain. We're going to move over the top of that one. Then we're going to work our 4 single crochet on the other side of that chain. Make your slip stitch. Sometimes my tension is too tight and it's really a bugger for me to get my hook into my first stitch. I really gotta, sometimes it's the size of the hook and sometimes it's my tension, and I have a tendency to have really tight tension, and I need to work on loosening myself up a little bit. So now you can see how quickly this works up. So go ahead and do this, repeat until you have as many circles as you need, as best fits your head. Then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how we make the ties. And those are super easy too, and pretty cute. I've made my 20 circles. I've finished with my slip stitch right here. We're going to want to finish this off, so I'm going to come and do a yarn over. I'm going to pull it through that loop. Let's grab our scissors, snip, and pull that through and tight. This we're going to weave in to our tie. These two ends, they're going to be woven into our ties. Now we're going to go ahead and make our ties. Let me show you on this one. So you can see I've connected it through the bottom stitch of this circle, and I'll show you how I did that. Then I took the ends that I cut and I braided them, and then I secured it at the end with the knot, and I left about probably 1.5 inches of tail for that knot. After that knot, you're going to want to cut 6 strands of cord 25 inches long. I like to take my first one and line up the ends and then just cut it that way. Here is my last cord. I've split my cord into 2 sets of 3. These each belong on one end of your headband. We're going to start with this end. I've grabbed a larger hook so that I can get it through my end easier. Let's start with our first circle. This is a J hook if you were curious. I'm going to put it through my first, right underneath that knot. So the first single crochet. You probably hear the jets flying. I seem to pick the flying days for my filming days, or they're just flying more often. But that's the rumbling that you hear. Let's fold this in half. So now I have 3 loops. I'm going to put each of the 3 loops on my hook. Make sure you get a nice grab a hold of that, and then draw it through. This takes a little bit of doing. You could even do one at a time if you wanted to. But so you see how I got all 3 of them through that first stitch. Pull these loops up a little bit higher so you can stick your hand through. Grab a hold of the rest of the strands and then pull it through tight. I want to get this down in there too, because we're going to weave that in our braid. So then pull this tight. There, isn't that pretty? Now for the easy part. We're going to separate them into 2 strands, and of course you're going to have your end that you want to weave in. So you can put that in the middle or on the side or wherever. For me, I'm just starting with it over here. And then just braid it. I like to hold these flat. See, I'll show you. See how flat my braid is? I just like a flat braid. I think it sits better on the head. You can make it round if you want to and just hold them however, but I like to hold them kind of like one strand right next to the other so that it makes a flatter braid. And then just braid it all the way down. You can see how my braid is nice and flat, and the proportion of it to the circles I think is nice also. I've gotten to about 2 inches to the end, so I'm going to go ahead and knot that so I have a nice tail. Make sure that you pull it really tight so that it doesn't come loose at all. And there you have your tail. You're going to repeat this for the next end. Make sure you get your tail in there. So go ahead and do that. You're going to want to go through this stitch right here. And then we'll come back and look at our finished product. And just like that, we're done. For an experienced crocheter, this project took me about half hour, 45 minutes. So it's a really quick workup. If you're a beginner, it might take you an hour, hour and a half, but it works up really fast, and your friends will be amazed that you can do that. And you really can do that. So have fun with this. If you make it, please show me pictures. I'd love to see them. You can see my contact info in the description. I have a link to this pattern if you're a pattern person. I like to read patterns versus watch videos and rewind all the time. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'm going to be having some more tutorials up soon. I'm planning on doing a broad range of technical difficulty, so it'll be from beginner to advanced. And if you want to come along and learn with me, I would love that. So have a great day and take care, friend.